Hi there. Thanks for joining this webinar. Today we're going to go over BT Cloudwork and 10 reasons why customers are migrating from on-premise PBX systems to the cloud. So in today's agenda, we'll run through the 10 reasons businesses are migrating to cloud. I'll do a deep dive on the meetings features in BT Cloudwork, and then we can have an open Q&A with the RingCentral team. So let's get into it. So this photo is an example of what many of your customers have in their server rooms today. Phone systems have been a critical part of businesses since their invention, but what this photo, is not displaying is the advancements in phone technologies and business phone technologies in the last 5 years. And so the end of on-premise PBX is attributed to a few things. Mainly one of the main ones is aging hardware. The PBX has reached end of life, which means it's really expensive to maintain. IT managers have to buy spare parts themselves, take a lot of time and resource to replace these parts. And even in a newer on-premise PBX, having it on-premise means inflexibility. It's difficult to add users, make changes to the systems, and the real big problem is capacity management and scalability. It's just not possible with an on-premise PBX. And so a lot of PBXs, they lack the modern features that customers are now looking for, like video conferencing, team messaging, and so on. There's also the problem of too many vendors. So with an on-premise PBX, you tend to have different vendors for things like video conferencing and team messaging, and this often leads to having, complex billing issues, complex contracts, and a lot of wasted time in managing all these vendors. And you have aggravated customers and employees because of this. Those PBXs are frustrating our end users and our potential customers. So, customers today, they expect to be able to call into your company and get the right person right away. And we all know customer experience is a key differentiator in any industry these days, especially with the rise of online merchants like Amazon who they leverage sort by price. When there's a sort by price world, you want to make sure your customer experience is exceptional, so customers pick you. And then with employees, there's obviously a lot of productivity issues when they don't have the right communication tools. Especially something that's happening these days, they call it shadow IT, where employees are using their own tools, say WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or the free Zoom app to conduct company business. And so the big problem here is your data is now stored in a place that you're not aware of. It's often attached to your employee's personal email address, and this possesses a huge risk when your employee may leave the organization. And a lot of employees we know go to competitors to get a little bit of a salary boost, and they're going to take all this data that's attributed to their personal email address with them. And some customers also use a virtual PBX or a hosted PBX. And these work similarly to an on-premise PBX, but are hosted offsite. So the data is hosted in a larger data center. And some people actually confuse hosted PBX and virtual PBX with cloud, and that's not the same thing. We're finding that people are using these terms interchangeably, so I wanted to make sure you guys are aware what the difference is. So when it's a hosted PBX, it's still a single and it's in a single tenancy or single instance. It needs to be managed in the same way an on-premise PBX does. So you have all the same maintenance issues, contract issues, inflexibility issues, slow deployment, capacity issues, infrequent updates. And a true cloud offering, it offers geo-redundant data centers, offers widespread scalability, and frequent updates that are developed and administered automatically. So, the number 2 reason on why customers are migrating from on-premise to cloud is obviously the way we are working is changing forever right now, especially the circumstance we are in, in the UK and also where I live in Dublin, Ireland, everyone's being required by law to stay at home. So, wherever you are, you're experiencing this real time. And, there's obviously a massive experiment going on in the world around work styles and technology. And so this is the number 2 reason for sure. So, remote working is now a mandatory part of IT business continuity plans and IT disaster recovery plans. It's gone from a nice to have to a need to have technology. And their customers are looking for carrier grade reliability, which is really where BT stands out and comes in, and a single communications platform that is secure and reliable. So we'll get to that, but this is a major reason why customers are moving. The reasons number 3, 4, and 5 on one slide is the cloud is faster and you can outsource your headaches as an IT director or CIO. So when we talk about instant scalability, for cloud PBXs, it's really easy. Organizations can simply add users within seconds on their mobile phone, and you don't need to purchase any additional hardware or phone lines. Everyone gets a soft phone, so they can literally be set up overnight and be calling people from their computer. You can grow and shrink your usage instantly based on your business needs, and so you don't need to call your vendor to do this. This is huge because on-premise PBX, scaling that kind of a solution, it becomes difficult and costly. You have to usually call into your vendor and buy users in bulk or in certain batches. With cloud, you can just pay per user per month, and every month you can change the amount of users. The setup time is really different too. So with a cloud PBX, it's really quick and easy. It's usually done by your vendor. And like I mentioned, adding new users is instantaneous and easy. With an on-premise PBX, it usually takes significantly longer to set up than a cloud software. And usually setup is done by you unless you're paying an installer to come and set up the system and the hardware for you and manage a service contract. So usually this adds an extra cost. And then maintenance. So with a cloud system, so the server and hardware is taken care of by the Unified Communications as a Service vendor. So updates, patches, and fixes are installed automatically by your vendor. With us, it's 4 times a year. And not only you get improvements to existing services, but you actually get new capabilities every quarter. And with an on-premise PBX, you have to perform all of your the customer has to perform the updates themselves, the patches and fixes themselves. You have to support your own hardware, servers, and resources. So usually because it's so labor intensive, you can't really support a software upgrade more than once or maybe twice a year. So reason number 6 is that the cloud is true future-proofing your business and your communications tech stack. So, as we are launching every quarter new updates, fixes, and tools for you into the software, you're always going to be up to date with the latest and greatest technology. They always say that the worst version of the product you're going to buy is the one that you buy today, because we're always upgrading it and adding new tools to your toolkit. With an on-premise PBX, the problem is that you're buying a specific set of technology at a very specific point in time based on the needs and requirements of that point in time. And as we know, like yearly, the technology requirements change of business and personal use. And technology is evolving so rapidly that, buying something 2 years ago, it's effectively legacy technology today, just with the speed of change in the industry. So that's the problem, is that, all of the upgrades is left to you, and you're not really future-proofing your tech stack. So the number 7 reason is integrations. So everyone is clouding, as they say, and your different cloud apps need to work together. And how does your tech stack communicate together? So in the cloud world, a lot of mission critical apps are already in the cloud, like Salesforce, Office 365, Google, and we have an integration into every single cloud app you can imagine. If it's not there, it's coming very soon. And so on-premise PBX, you'll have to configure all the integrations yourself and install them yourself, and ensure you stay up to date as the integrations evolve and the cloud apps evolve. If you sign up with a cloud phone system, it all effectively updates together and for you. So it's a plug and play integration, and you don't have to do anything after. The vendors will make sure all the upgrades also go on to the integration upgrades. And I put this as number 8, but this is actually usually for customers. The number 1 reason they are migrating from an on-premise PBX to a cloud is it's significantly reducing their IT costs. So there's actually a study linked here at the bottom, Forrester Total Economic Impact Study, and they found that the average customer who migrated from an on-premise system to RingCentral Cloud software, which is what BT Cloudwork is, they were saving on average 42% of their total cost of ownership. And so, you know, the cloud PBX cost model is OpEx related, so it's a subscription model, so you pay per user per month, and the upfront costs are low. The device cost can be very low. You can basically decide that you don't have any hardware and just go with soft phones and mobile apps. And the all-time costs are predictable because you're paying per month and you know your user count, and it's not really going to go up and down from there. With an on-premise PBX, the cost model is CapEx intensive, so you know it involves you know, big assets being purchased at a specific point in time. So you know, big investments. It's a bit of a headache for IT managers to even get the approval for such investments. So upfront costs are really high, and the cost can be unpredictable because as it comes with maintenance and upgrades, you just don't know what that's going to cost, and so yeah, you're just leaving a lot to chance. So the number 9 reason why people are considering moving from on-premise legacy PBX to cloud is security. And so I know this sounds counterintuitive because sometimes the argument is if you keep all your data on your data center in your premise, then it's much more secure than going out onto the cloud. And so, you know, there is that argument, and I, you know, there is, I guess, the idea that, you know, data can be breached in the cloud, and we have seen it happen with various vendors in the past, so I'm not going to say that doesn't happen. But really what the security concern is that with on-premise systems, it's such legacy technology, it's such archaic communication tools that your employees don't even leverage your own tools to communicate, and they're going on to WhatsApp, they're going on to Zoom, and they're using those tools to do your business. And so your data is not secure at all when your customers do that. The other thing is, you know, with an on-premise PBX, you know, when you have greater control over the data, you also have all the responsibility of security, and each customer cannot afford the economies of scale that the cloud providers can. So yes, while you're putting it in the cloud with a whole bunch of other companies as well, all of your money pooled together goes a lot further in terms of buying security assets and leveraging the secure nature of the cloud, because you know it's in everyone's best interest that the data stay secure. And so usually when you actually compare like for what you as an IT director can afford for security for your company versus what the cloud can offer you, often the cloud security is actually more robust than what any individual mid-market customer can offer themselves. So it's worth considering that your data actually might be more secure in the cloud. And then also the other thing is when you take on the security yourself, the cost of that security also gets taken on yourself, and that's another cost to you. So backing up servers and data, that's going to be time and cost for the customer. And these days customers, you know, they trust the cloud, they trust the cloud providers out there, and customers are migrating. So the last reason why customers are migrating from on-premise PBX to cloud is, you know, IT directors and CIOs, their responsibilities are far beyond voice now. They are really busy, as mentioned, you know, so once upon a time, telecommunications was the biggest technology advancement at the time, and that was, you know, where CIOs spent all their time, you know, in terms of making sure their telecommunications was managed well and on site. Nowadays, they're being asked to look at artificial intelligence and how to leverage that for their business, SD-WAN networking and how to leverage that for their business, cybersecurity and how to maintain that for their business, technology-driven customer experience projects. As we all know, chat and contact center and omni-channel, that they have to find technology solutions for these problems in their business, online payments, remote working. And so, you know, outsourcing the headaches of on-premises like PBX systems to cloud providers is freeing up time for CIOs and IT directors to spend time on what are, you know, the innovative projects right now in their company and what's really going to make a difference on revenue generation. And so they're outsourcing things like maintenance and, you know, all that stuff to set up time to vendors like RingCentral and BT, and in the trust that BT will do a good job, and they're spending their time on the stuff that's more pressing in their business. And so obviously, going through the differences between PBX to cloud, I think it shows that the UK needs a reimagined experience when it comes to communications technology. And so, what are we looking for? We're looking for, as customers, any device, any mode, anywhere, easy to buy, easy to use, and easy to manage, and something that's trustworthy, reliable, scalable, and open enough that it's going to talk to all my other mission critical applications. And so that's really where we introduce you to the product, which is BT CloudWork. So it's message, video, and phone all in one application. It's really easy to use, it's reliable, it's scalable, and it's open. And so this is just a snapshot of, migrating from on-premise PBX to a cloud-based PBX, just kind of how your communications tech stack expands and how much more robust your communications platform becomes. And really just, you don't have to worry about it. Once you sign up, there's releases every year. We have customer webinars and, trainings that you can keep up to date with all the new launches, and your users can keep up to date. And, you can just go on with your business operations. So let's take a quick look at BT CloudWork meetings. So in BT CloudWork, one of the most asked about features right now is HD video conferencing, because obviously we're all working from home and everyone is looking for a solution that offers this. And so we're really proud to say that we do offer the Collaborate package has up to 200 attendees included, and there's add-ons for up to 500. There's uncapped meeting minutes for HD video and screen sharing. So participants don't have to be BT CloudWork users. You can join via quick download or dial in, or click to join via web. And there's one-click scheduling from Outlook, Gmail, so that's where the integrations come in. And it's really simple and really easy to use. So yeah, our video platform is one of the best, if we do say so ourselves. And just try it yourself, come for a demo, and you can see how easy it is to use. A lot of the customers say that their users don't even need a training, that it's that intuitive. And if you want help with customer onboarding, we've got loads and loads of videos online. I can send out a link after this webinar, but just showing some of the onboarding webinar video demos we have, and they're really short 2 to 5 minute videos where you can get a quick snapshot of the topic at hand. And if you're if you want to show this to customers in terms of making them aware of these features, you can even show them in advance. And that's it. Thanks for joining.